You're listening to A Creative Excuse, presented by Echo Amano. I'm Frank Rose.
And I'm Cara Duvall. This episode is with two artists in our current exhibition, Kinnick and Eliza Lutz, along with the curator, Martha Traer. I wasn't able to be there to record this episode, but we had a bonus guest, so it worked out.
The current exhibition, Sound and Vision, features 28 artists responding to a piece of music they chose and will be on view through November 3rd.
We have lots of events upcoming. A book signing with Zara Marwan on Friday, October 10th, a spooky movie night showing Donnie Darko on Thursday, October 23rd, and a creature collage night led by me and Kat Kinnick on Thursday, October 30th.
All of these events are listed on our website, or stay tuned to our Instagram for details. Thanks for listening.
Ability to think further than that in the morning is where it ends.
You're hosting brunch.
Huh?
You're going to host brunch for us.
And then you'll bring the tortillas.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. But you need to bring
Tortilla
corn ones. Though.
Are you a big breakfast person? Right?
Usually, yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. As I've turned 45, the body has changed a bit. So what I can eat is actually kind of a mystery because it seems to change on a daily basis, like what agrees with me. Yeah.
That's a fun way to start the podcast.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course.
What agrees?
What agrees? Music agrees. Art agrees.
Wow.
Good pivot, right?
Great pivot. There's many things that agree.
There are many things that agree. You're absolutely right.
So this is a different format because it's usually Cara and I and one guest. And Kat, you did it recently.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And this is fun.
Yeah.
And Cara can't be here today because she's not feeling great.
So now
Oh,
it's 3
shoot.
against 1.
So that's 3 against 1. Yeah. So I know you're going to love this, Martha, starting with you.
Ew. Awesome. That's what I meant to say.
Sound and vision, art and music. Have you been thinking about this idea for a long time?
Yeah. I mean, I think, a really long time. So I'm a visual artist, but with filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid, I made music videos. That's all I could think to make were music videos and music videos and music. And I would just choose a song and I would make a piece, and I would choose a song and I would make a piece, and I would choose a song and I would make a piece. So yeah, I've been doing this in my own weird way for a very long time without giving away age. And so the show title actually kind of came around. Stina Folkebrand and I were supposed to do a installation in Sweden a couple of years ago, and we were like, oh, Sound and Vision is a great name, but the piece we were going to make had no sound. And so we were like, that doesn't work at all, and so it's just kind of stuck with me for the past couple of years, like, what would that be? And to me, they go so hand in hand. I've never been in an artist studio where music hasn't been playing or hasn't been something that we've at least talked about. And so I know that music plays a huge part in a visual medium, but it's not anything that's ever given any light. And I feel like it really influences what people make, given mood, given like atmosphere, and whether it's conscious or subconscious, how that seeps into their work is always really interesting to me. And so why not create a show that highlights both aspects, like behind the scenes and what the viewer sees in the gallery. Also, I'm a process person. I could stop artists halfway through their pieces and be like, "You're done." Like, yeah. I love being where things are being made, like that like liminal space of like, oh, between like the idea and the finished product is just like, just so beautiful to me. And so this is kind of like my way of like kind of getting in there with 30 different people all at once without being able to do studio visits.
Oh.
Well, and it also like it shines a little bit of a light into, influences, into process by saying like, okay, what what thing has influenced this particular piece, you know? So people are going to be listening and trying to draw connections between what they see in the music. So it creates a different kind of relationship with the viewer.
For sure.
Because they're going to be like, have a specific thing that they're going to target as like, okay, where's the connection? Where's the connection? Where's the connection?
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times it's like they don't have a sort of reference point. You know, they see the object and, you know, a lot of people want to draw those connections.
For sure. Well, and I also think too, like, being in, like, I hated going to museums and galleries as a kid because you had to be quiet and you had to be patient. And I was like exploding out of my skin, wanted to like dance or scream or do something big. And so the idea of like kind of like breaking that down and being like, you don't have to fully understand what this piece means to the artist, but here's an in. Here's like something for people that are like, I don't get it. Well, here's like just like a little clue, but maybe it's just a direction, not like an answer. And so, yeah, I think that feels really nice too. Because like going to museums and being like, I don't get it, I don't like it, then don't spend time with it, you know? But like, if you like it, go towards it. If you don't, skip it. Doesn't matter. But like, here's an end if you're feeling lost.
Yeah. And I think that I mean, really connects with the ethos of the gallery in general too. That, you know, I think we generally show work that, you know, that feels like you can step into, that feels accessible, you know, that a lot of people come in and they don't necessarily feel like, maybe I'm just projecting, but I think this is true. They don't feel like they have to understand it to appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of art spaces can project that opposite attitude, that you do have to know some sort of insider information or, you know, be educated about art to get into it.
I'm still uncomfortable going into galleries.
Yeah.
I've worked in them for 15 years.
Yeah.
I am still so self-conscious going into galleries.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have the money.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, and like, that's just such a bad feeling. Any way that I can like just level that feels really good. Music is a great way to do that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I think Eliza and Kat are the perfect guests for this.
Yeah,
because not only did they make us a piece and chose a song, but are also musicians. I'll start with you, Eliza. Did music and visual art, have they co-arisen in your life as something you made, or did they come in and out at different times? When did tell me your history?
I guess they've always been rather intertwined. But I felt more pulled to maybe the visual side versus the sound making side at different times. But I feel like they've never been separate, right? I think I started out when I was younger being really focused on visual art, actually, and wanting to do the art school thing, and then wanted to go tour and play in bands and not go to school at all. And I had a really lovely art teacher early on who just instructed me to listen to a different album every day in class while we did figure drawing, and was like, okay, well then just draw what you hear. And that kind of shifted me towards music stuff. And then later I started a record label, but I was always really drawn to the visual side, whether it was making album art for my own bands, or then with the record label making album art for other bands, or working with other artists to like kind of design all of the materials. I think we always did like very strange and visual and tactile merch for different projects, and I was really drawn to just like multi-sensory, immersive, you know, album release type experiences, and these different ways that we could all like appreciate music from all these different sensory horizons, maybe. And then more recently, I feel like I've been drawn back more into the visual side, but it's not totally divorced from music and sound. I feel like I've always had really strong synesthesia, so they're always very interrelated. I mean, the one album I did was entirely written visually first in colors, and then brought them to my very like music school trained bandmates. That's not my background, and I'm like, okay guys, like we got to put a little bit more orange here, a little bit more lilac, but like a murkier lilac that's maybe like a little rough, and like kind of a little bit more like F here. And so that's always been very like overlapping worlds. So when Martha, gave me the invite for this, I was like, well, naturally, that's my brain.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
worked
cool. I had no
perfectly.
idea. Oh, that's the best. That makes me so happy.
So yeah, I mean, you talk about being process driven, and I was so excited about the process for this, right? Of just immersing in the song, and what was the kind of natural visuals, what were the maybe more literal visuals if you think about your first experience listening to the song, as in the case with mine, or maybe what the artist intended for the song, and just how all those different feelings and visuals kind of meld together.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to hear about your musicianship versus visual artist overlap too.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I've always like loved music. It's like in a very like heavy, serious way. I don't know. It's just very profound. Like I recently saw like a Vedic astrologer, and one of the first questions he asked was like, "Is music important to you?" I'm like, "Very." And I've like never really identified as a musician, but like I find it really important to like surround myself with music. And my partner, you know, he's a full-time musician and plays like multiple instruments, mostly accordion and fiddle. But yeah, like our house is filled with live music, and then all the musicians that he knows, you know, they come through, and like that's like my community is just like feels so musical because of him. But yeah, like music videos, you mentioned that for the show. Like when I was in high school, I was obsessed with music videos and pausing the video and then like drawing a still from the video. And I've recently been like doing that a little bit. Like the other day I was, you know, Raven Chacon, he just did this like amazing composition in Albuquerque, like all these different acts and performances and like 200 musicians. And I was like tuning in live, and my friends were like out in the town seeing these things happen. And I had like major FOMO. I was like, I need to be in the studio. But I really wanted to be there. And I was like taking screenshots of the things happening. And like one of my favorite parts was a friend, Lara Manzanares, was like on horseback and then singing to people that she would encounter. And they're like, they sound like these beautiful old traditional songs. And so she like made it into the painting. And and I was like in choir in middle school, and with like the cummerbunds, and I still like the warm up, like it's like I will never, it's like Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, Duck, like it'll stick with me forever.
That's great.
Yeah. And then when I moved here, after, I've always known that I'm a visual artist, and like, I don't know, for some reason, like my parents are both artists. So I like went to art school, but like, music shows, and I never really did music in school, but I moved here in 2015 and then like joined a Balkan choir that a friend was in, and that like, has kind of made me a musician, I guess, because we meet like every week and we learn like really complex Balkan, Eastern European songs with like, multiple harmonies, lots of dissonance, and and I don't even know like terminology really, like in the music world, like, I don't even have a pitch pipe, like I just downloaded an app on my phone, like, but I really feel the music, I love it, and I just like, I can hear it in my mind, and that helps me sing it. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Pitch.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do you want to talk about your specific piece and the song that you chose?
Yeah. So I picked one of Heather Trost's recent tunes. It's like a gavotte, like Renaissance period, and I think she played like on like 70s style organs to make it, and she's just like an amazing musician who's I came across her work when I was in high school, and she plays in A Hawk and a Hacksaw with her partner Jeremy Barnes, and so she's a friend and just a badass musician, and one of my favorites.
Yeah. So can you describe visually what the piece looks like?
Oh, so it's like a horse lion with bat wings standing on top of a dragon, or like a serpentine dragon. And it's inspired by this stone carving at the cloisters in upstate New York, like this medieval museum. And the piece that it's inspired by is like, you know, the cloisters is like a castle, like medieval castle with the unicorn tapestries. I'm surprised that not everybody knows what the cloisters is. It's just like the greatest place in the world. And they have like ancient gardens, and it's amazing. And so this stone piece that I like fell in love with, it's like this lion with the creepiest face, like the biggest grin, and he's like so creepy. It's lovely. It's stuck in my mind. And yeah, I've been a little bit obsessed by like old medieval things lately.
And so the piece, it connects to the song in terms of like, so is what she's playing original composition, or is she performing older compositions?
So the one I picked, I think, is an original. And then she has, she's other gavotes on this album. Yeah.
And can you give words in any way to the way in which the song connects to the visual?
So it just sounds like ancient and kind of eerie and slow, and and it like just kind of put me, I feel like what music, it just kind of pulls things from it. It kind of like pulls me forward too. Like it helps me see like who I am and what I love and am interested in. And it like really relaxes you in the most like awake way.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a drug to me. It feels like it's like dopamine, adrenaline, like you know, all the things. So yeah,
I can relate to that in terms of like curating, because I feel like y'all show me how I see the world, like by the things that I get drawn to, and the things that I like my spirit says yes to. It's like it shows me in a way how I see the world, because I went through art school too, but I was never like I never had an intellectual relationship with visual art, and so it was a little challenging because the program that I was in was very conceptual, and so I kind of struggled with that. And my relationship with art is so instinctual, intuitive, and immediate and reactionary in a way. It's like I see it and it's like it's either a yes or a no almost immediately. There's exceptions for sure, but like it helps me to kind of understand how I see the world for sure. Made me think we should put the 2 songs at the end of the podcast.
I think that's a great idea.
Oh yeah, awesome.
And how about you, Eliza? Tell me about the song that you chose and how it connected to your piece.
Yeah, I think for me, my process was thinking about maybe songs that have been really impactful for me, that maybe I had a very strong memory associated with, that I kind of already had, maybe it wasn't like a concrete visual, but I guess in my weird muddled brain, like a very, I don't know, just a vibrant visual feeling. And then I kind of narrowed it down based on, I too was excited to like pick a New Mexico artist, being a New Mexican and having worked with so many wonderful New Mexican artists through my record label. So I wanted to pick a song, ended up picking a song from a band called Chichata that I got to work with and put out their second record with them. But this song, Are You, ... is a song that I first heard them play live. And I had never met them before. I was going down actually with Jude Brothers to take them to a show that they were playing. And they were like, oh, you have to meet this person, Marisa DeMarco. She put on the show at the launch pad. It was called Thursday Night Girl Fight, which was just a very like femme-centric showcase that, I mean, she put on for over 10 years. And the show happened to take place the Thursday after the 2016 election. And we were just like, I don't know. It's weird with how everything is now, like thinking back to that time, right? And that sort of like weird shock at that time, and people being kind of in a daze, at least in my sphere. And going to that show and then being so surrounded by this like very intense, protective, like feminine energy, which is not something that I have found to be particularly prevalent in most show spaces, and has always been a struggle being a musician. And they played this song, and I just kind of realized I was crying, and I didn't like that kind of weird crying where you're not even like realizing you're crying. Like I just felt tears, and then I felt like that immediate feeling that you feel when you cry in public, where you're like, oh my God, like I'm crying in public. But then I looked up at them, and everyone on that stage, there are three women, they all play bass, and then there's 2 drummers, and the 3 women all harmonize and sing, and it's like this just barrage of texture and beautiful harmonies and heaviness. And they were just all weeping too. Like you could see it in the lights, like just their faces shining. And then I looked around and everybody was crying. And instead of feeling, I don't know that I felt better, but I felt like, okay, like we can be held in this feeling together. And I think as things have progressed over the last however many years since then, almost 10 years, which is nuts. But I think about that moment a lot. It was also a turning point getting to know them and building a lot more community, especially in Albuquerque where I now live, and just a bigger sense of camaraderie with music. And all 3 of the women that front that band became close friends and are incredible visual artists and musicians. So there's always that overlap. And one of the 2 drummers, Henry, did a lot of their art. And so there was this amazing like visual landscape to their music already. And so I wanted to kind of bring forth that particular memory. So the piece is like a embroidered, quilted kind of panel that kind of just has this circle of people that all are kind of crying into this puddle, and this feeling of me floating in this puddle of tears. And it feels sad on the surface, but it's also like, wow, we could all kind of hold each other, and we're all that person in the center, like when we just can't, so overwhelmed by your grief, but at the same time, like, you know, we can float in that water and like hold each other. And it was also really beautiful to think about that the whole maybe 100+ hours stitching it and bringing it with you, because I've been drawn to embroidery because you can take it with you. So it's like I'm, you know, sitting in a room listening to other people talk, and I'm embroidering. I'm in a coffee shop, I'm on a train, and so it's also imbued with all this interesting like place.
Yeah. Do you ever like, are you like, you listen to a song when you're working on something, and then like in a particular spot that you're like working, and then you come back to that spot the next day and that song is like there with you?
Definitely.
Or that podcast,
it has
or
that sound or whatever feeling of that. Definitely. So it feels like that. I don't know if that comes through for other people, but I'm like, oh, I was working really a lot on that face on that one train ride. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I mean, and you know, I think music especially can really tap us into emotion in a way that, I mean, visual art can too, but I don't know, music just has a direct, just like tap into the brain. And it's just like the body, and like, you know, being able to like either, you know, for me, feel seen or like validate, or just like all of those things that, you know, especially when in the heat of it, it's like it can be hard to tease apart like what is this? What am I feeling? You know, and music is so good at that. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, they say laughter is also immediate like music. It's like one thing.
Yeah. It's like kind of absurd in a way, right? Because it's like there's not a lot of reason around it. It's just like this immediate like tap, you know. And I think for me a lot of times with laughter too, it's just like something that's funny, like
I can't even look at you right now.
Martha and I are just like constantly.
Yeah, it's like all day, every day, just being really ridiculous and laughing.
It's so fun.
Yeah. It's a good jam.
So Martha, you've worked for galleries before.
Yeah.
have you done curating for other galleries?
No, this is my first show
No way.
that I've curated.
Yeah.
So that feels real. It feels real. It's really exciting, and it was great to be able to reach out to a lot of people that I have wanted to work with or who I admire, and to get a response of yes was like mind blowing, because I was like, no way, I'm gonna throw it out, and they're gonna be like, can't, sorry, or I'm just not gonna hear anything back. My accent just got real heavy. I don't know why. But yeah, so it felt really fulfilling to say, like, I want to reach out to 30 artists and have 30 artists actually respond and show up. Felt just so fantastic. And then and to be able to like put a lot of energy into them and their work. And I don't know, for me, I've always said, like, I don't really want any like acclaim, but I just want to be able to have my work lift up or tell someone else's story. So like this idea of being able to curate a show with all these people who I really admire is really thrilling for me, because I'm like, oh, good. Just put more of it, put more beauty into the world. Awesome, great, awesome. And like have it felt by people. And so this was really like a year in the making of thinking about this, and then like a month of attention headache of just being like, will it work? Will it work? And like Kat and Eliza and I were walking around, and it was really wild to see these connections between people's pieces. Like Madeline did this moon that is also in Alfonso's and Graham's piece, and Justice did this river that's also in Deborah's piece, and color things are happening and all around, and these like weird astral bodies are happening in like multiple things, and I'm just like, wow, what is happening? And I don't know if that's because of how obviously it's not, I didn't tell anyone to make anything specific, but it does feel kind of like you were saying, Eliza, earlier, like that hive mind, just kind of like, oh, we're all focusing in on this show, and for some weird reason everyone's producing things that feel really cohesive. So hanging it felt awesome once I figured it out, but it just like I feel really like your piece of feeling held. I feel really held in all of these pieces, which feels really sweet to me. And also really nerve-wracking, because I just want everyone to sell out, I'm just like, oh, just everyone should take this home, you know? Take this feeling home. And weirdly, my dad came in this morning, and he also said it felt like being home, which I thought was really sweet. I don't know if that's because it's something that I've curated and it feels like me, or if it's, I don't know, he had like an emotional reaction to a lot of pieces like already. He'll never listen to this podcast, so he'll never but it was really sweet to see like my dad walk around and feel emotional about things as well, because he's a very Midwestern guy. He's like everybody's dad. Gave Amy a big hug because he loves her piece, and it's just like it felt so sweet. And so I hope that that's how everyone feels when they come in, just like there's something for me here. And if it's not for you here, then that's fine too, but it doesn't have to appeal to everybody. But I want the people who are drawn to it to feel surrounded and held.
Yeah, I can so relate to, putting together a show, and like, God, I mean, because it comes from this place of wanting to support somebody else, and then also recognizing that like they're also giving you the opportunity to like create and like hold space. And like for me, that provides a lot of direction and purpose in my life. Like, doing this work, it's like, it gives me just this container for me to like explore and create and give me purpose and drive and motivation. And so, yeah, you want it to do well. You want every single show to sell out.
Every single
And you think
one.
that, like, people are crazy for not coming in here and buying everything. Like, what's wrong with you? You know?
Yeah.
I can totally relate to that. It's a funny experience to not necessarily be like the creator of the objects, but to like hold a space that they exist in. I think a record label is in a way like that, right? You know, where like you're giving space to others to share their work and to tell their stories, you know. And I've always wanted it to be that kind of like that light touch, right? Like I can't help but put my fingerprints on what happens here, but like, you know, like you said, Martha, I'm never telling anybody what to make. You know, it's like, what is your story? Like, what do you want to tell here? And to me, that like gives like the most kind of like symbiosis and like for me the most fulfillment, because the artists are going through their process too, you know, in figuring out like, okay, what do I want to say, you know, and that's what this is all about, I think.
Yeah. It's cool that the like songs and tunes aren't like so literal for a lot of them. Like it looks like some of them are, but it's kind of like the song, like what you're saying, offering what you offer as a gallery and like curator and record, like the songs also, you weren't like make a literal piece based on this song, but like
whatever song you choose.
Let the song give
lyric.
you
It to make sense.
But like let the song give you permission to make whatever is in like your wildest dream or deep inside of you.
And then share that with the world. And be really confident about it.
Do you guys ever, when you travel, like you hear some songs and then that becomes the soundtrack for your travel? That happens a lot with me, where like holds a memory and a piece of time. And I also kind of see the world as a music video sometimes.
Oh yeah. I think as a kid I was like, I am the star.
This
music video, and all the cameras are pointing at, you know, that would scare the daylights out of me now. But as a kid, I was like very much like, this is the song is for me, you know. But it definitely did like sculpt. I was living in a straight up music video, I think, for 10 years. Just like, this is all. I'm looking out this window and it's raining and I am sad. I'm like, about what? I have no idea, but it'd be great. The camera would go from this point. I broke everything down that way.
It's funny how like how music can like connect to those time periods. Like I've been, I don't know, I've been getting nostalgic lately. I've been listening to a lot of like rock from the 90s. And that's been really, really fun. I've been running a lot to like the Pixies and stuff. And and like Fugazi and being like, it's so much fun.
I went to a heavy metal show last night at the Sunshine Theater, and it was like the first time in like 15 years that I'd been there, and like moshed a little bit, and I freaking loved it so much. I was like, mosh pits are magic.
I want to see your
shirt.
I know someone.
I want to see the piece inspired by that.
Oh yeah.
Your moshing piece. Moshing at the cloisters. That's funny though. I feel like I thought a lot about like the being on the side of being a musician, and there's so much of like talking about process, where you're really holding so much. At least I am, and I guess I've talked about this with other musicians that feel similarly. You have such a specific idea of what a song represents to you, and maybe that's through lyrics, maybe not so much, but some really specific, maybe personal feeling or experience. And it's just so, like, you play it live maybe before you record it, and so it still kind of belongs to you. And then there's this moment when you finally record it and then release it, where it's like it just shifts ownership. And it's such a weird kind of like birthing process, because I don't know, it's very true. And then when people come up to you and they're like, oh, this meant this to me, which has no reference to what I thought, you know, but it is no less meaningful, I guess. So there's this big like transference of ownership. And so I was thinking a lot about that in picking the song I picked, and it has such a specific visceral memory for me that probably has very little to do with what they wrote it about, right?
Yeah.
Though, I mean, I guess you could tie some of the lyrics, but I think I was telling you earlier that this is kind of awful to admit, but sometimes I don't pay that close attention to lyrics. So I'll have a very specific feeling to a song, and then I go closer. Or this has happened when I've done, like, sometimes we'll do, like, Halloween cover band nights as popular. And you're like, oh, well, I love all these songs from this band. Let's do this band. And then you have to learn the lyrics, and you're like, I had no idea. That's what this song is. And so it was sort of similar going through the song for this too, and then being like, well, this is what I'm connecting to meaning. That doesn't mean it's wrong, but I also want to make sure it's not totally incongruous with what they're saying.
Yeah, they see the piece and they're like,
But not quite it.
interesting. Interesting takeaway.
But it's that kind of, I guess, enmeshed meaning from like the creator and the receiver that is interesting for music, but also very interesting with art. So it's cool to see them overlap, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, someone told me, an artist told me once that they don't feel like that their art is complete until it's seen. That like they make it and like it doesn't even feel like a piece of art to them until it's seen by somebody. That like that relationship is integral to making it, which is an interesting take. Yeah, I mean that because so much of it is about that relationship. Like why do we make things? You know. Not that it can't be just, just for oneself or that, just for the love of making the thing. But I think for a lot of, maybe the majority of artists, it is about, that relationship, and wanting something to be seen by the world. And it's interesting because like so much of it isn't going to be seen in the way that maybe you might want it to be seen, because it's such a different experience in this head and this head and this head.
Do you ever like fall in love with a song and you save it and you don't pay attention to the lyrics and then you pay attention like years down the road and then you're like, it hits you like, I love this. I was hearing the lyrics without hearing the lyrics and it really means something to me.
I'm sure I've had that experience. Did that happen? Can you
it
think
happens
of it?
like all the freaking time.
Really?
Yeah. Like this one I was listening to on the way here was like, the lyrics are like, something about I'm selfish and I don't know, I write my name on everything that I own and like whatever, like I'm selfish. And I'm like, oh my god, yeah, it is me.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah, and also like different languages in songs. It's like, you don't even have to know what they're singing about. But, and you can have a totally different feeling from the lyrics also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like music like opens up portals of like different cultures and like worlds and energies and personalities and vibes and I love it.
Yeah. The different languages that you don't know, for me, just turn the voice more into an instrument. Like, because I can't understand what they're saying, so it's like the voice becomes just like a noisemaker.
It's
because there's no like literal meaning to any of the words or anything.
Well, I have a terrible confession to make then, because I feel like, again, going back to someone who's not paying attention to lyrics, maybe this is where I got that from. But when I was younger, and sometimes you just like, you haven't written the lyrics yet, but you're like, the song is good and you got to play it. And especially if you're playing like loud rock music, like, a lot can be forgiven with a bad room and a bad PA, who's going to hear the lyrics anyway. But I got really good at just sort of like English mumbling, but then sometimes like maybe I'm too good at it, because people after would be like, I really resonated with that one line. And then you're like, please do tell me.
What did I say?
So I think that's maybe a good example of, whatever the context is, you're really seeking meaning, maybe a reinterpretation of actually written and articulated lyrics, or not, just like what the feeling of the song strikes in you, and then you kind of project that onto mishearings, but beautiful mishearings. Mishearings that create new, just as valid meanings, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I'm just being like, which one, because I said a lot. And
yeah.
so please, yeah, that's incredible. I always think about this time in San Francisco. I was just going through a real hard time, and I was like, hey, I called my brother, and I'm like, can I just come and hang out at your place? And he was like, yeah, come on over. So I got in a cab, and this Russian song was playing, and I Shazammed it, and showed up at my brother's place, and his wife is Russian. And I was like, Lena, what is this song? And she started laughing so hard, and she's like, this is the saddest. She's like, just about like going nowhere and like regret. And I was like, what? And I was like, and I've kept it on my playlist forever since, because I'm just like, yeah, this is so. It's like the guy knew exactly what I was feeling, and I just had no idea until I got to my sister-in-law and was like, can you translate? And she's like, and she was like crying, laughing, because she was like, this is just so funny, because it's just so perfect.
That's funny.
Yeah. Which was kind of funny too, because I was real sad at the time.
Yeah. It's real funny.
And it was. She's got a funny sense of humor.
Yeah, we're really like meaning-making machines, right? Like with everything, drawing those connections and like telling stories, and we're constantly seeking for it. Yeah.
Do you ever walk into like a grocery store or a shop and a song that means a lot to you is playing, and then you feel like you're like at home in the universe or world? Like
Then you're in the music video.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just on cue.
Yeah. You're like, and the doors got open, and here I am.
More often than not, it's a song that like I think is ridiculous, and then I start singing along to it or dancing to it, and I also think I'm in the music video. But it's like a little bit more ironic, maybe.
Yeah.
It could actually literally be ironic, but when it's more sad.
Yeah.
Full of irony.
I don't know. I feel like I've heard that in the grocery store recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all coming back.
Yeah.
It is like all of like the bad like alternative stuff from, I don't know. It's like it's really making its way into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Alanis Morissette alternative?
I don't know, like whatever those radio stations were, they called them like alternative rock.
That's true. Yeah, I guess they did label it as that.
Creed or like, I don't know, but it's like,
God.
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other questions do you have?
Oh, goodness. I know. Well, I mean, I was thinking about like just the group show thing can be so hard, you know, and like putting out a prompt, you know, based on like something so open, it can really like get a lot of different things and can be hard to put together, you know, because you didn't know what you were going to get. And like, but you also like had the size limitation, which can be helpful.
That's the key.
Giving limitations.
That is the key. Size limitation. Because then you can do anything within that amount of space, and it feels, at least, because without that, it can be psychotic walking into a space.
Yeah, we do the small work show it's now a small work show.
It is.
But it used to be kind of like it's getting smaller and smaller. We used to do, I mean, the first one was pretty wide open.
The first one was incredibly wide open.
Yeah.
It was be living in New Mexico.
Yeah, right. That was the restriction.
And that was too broad.
Yeah.
Because pieces came in all different sizes and all different. It was fun.
Yeah.
And chaos.
Yeah.
So then we just go 11 by 14, 5 by 7, works on paper, something to just give it a uniformity.
Yeah. Well, and then, you know, with this show, I mean, there is a level of chaos in it, but it's like, it's contained, right? It's like, it gives it a form and a structure and like allows you to kind of like follow the thread versus like what's happening here. And I think the music thing too will also, I think, allow people to like, to follow along in a way that is more cohesive, even though all the pieces are so different.
And the songs are kind of chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that, but I think like that each one has a song is what will bring it together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mixtape.
It's a total mixtape. It's a mixtape by someone who just put a bunch of songs on that tape.
And the mixtape is available to listen to?
Oh yeah.
I made a mixtape.
Oh, uh-huh.
Recorded it a little bit soft, may re-record. But yeah, all of them are on a cassette, and that feels really good to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about another family member, because for some reason that's all I can talk about with this, is like my brother gave me the tape player, and for my birthday, which feels like a real on-brand gift for him to give me. Something that I probably won't use too often, definitely is a mode of, like a medium that's no longer, people aren't producing anything. So I was like, well, I'm going to use it. So, haha, good on you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it felt really good to like use the thing that he gave me too. And it feels familiar, like home to me. Also, everything I listened to was on a tape when I was a kid, so that just felt really good as well.
Yeah.
It also, does it exist digitally as a complete
It does.
thing?
You can listen to all the songs.
We'll put it in the show notes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's on a playlist on YouTube, because that's where most everyone's songs are, except for yours, Kat, which links to Bandcamp, because we want to support Heather.
Yeah, everybody buy Heather's album. Buy that song on Bandcamp.
That one song is like
And
Support
Chikara's
musicians.
yeah,
Yes.
but also was on YouTube,
Yeah.
which was great.
Yeah, they have a beautiful music video for that.
Yeah, I watched
That
it.
they did.
Oh, cool.
But look at Eliza's piece before you watch the music video.
They're
And-
quite different.
Yeah, they're really different. Yeah. We're gonna follow Eliza's thread on this first, and then take what you want from it.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Have you made many music videos, Liza?
I have made a few in different capacities.
Uh-huh. How do you
I've
think of that?
assisted or been part of. I was in one of the Chicharra videos, and that was very fun because I got to get plastered in mud out in mountain air, and then get lost driving home, and we had mixed that mud with flour.
Oh.
And I realized I looked like I just straight up out of a horror movie. Like I needed like assistance and had to stop for directions. I had like no cell service and was like, I'm okay. I am also very scared.
Yeah.
So that's like maybe one level of participation. But then for my own music, I've done a couple of videos. Only two that I really kind of steered or directed. One in particular that was fun, and that was kind of scary just 'cause I have literally no experience doing video stuff, and it was very DIY, but then was also very fun. And then you find yourself being like, well, yeah, it's totally justified to buy 8 pounds of glitter to spread out into the bottom of my warehouse so I can like roll around in it, because how else could I bring this vision to life? And then you're like, that's art math. So
Yeah, I love art math.
art math is the best math
Yeah.
and the most sensible math. But I miss doing it a little bit. But I think just pivoting to other kinds of visual art is a little bit more accessible these days, because you can just do it in the studio and you don't need a bunch of people to pull in favors for.
8 pounds of glitter.
Yeah, you don't need 8 pounds of glitter. It's a little bit simpler. But I love watching music videos. I love seeing how people, that's, I think, kind of an undervalued art in some ways. I think sometimes it comes more into vogue than other times, of just how people are that intermediary, like visualizing your work. I have had that experience one time working on a video where someone got to like turn what I made into what they thought it meant in a video, and that's cool. So it's fun to participate on like all sides of it, right? That we're just sort of image or sound creating, and lots of different overlap with that. It's pretty cool.
Have you seen the recent Devo documentary?
No, but it's on my list.
It's great. And it's so cool to see like how they kind of really went at that hard way before MTV and all that kind of stuff. And how like they, in a lot of ways were way too weird for MTV. And it was great. Yeah, it's a really good documentary.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This is it? Have we got an hour?
No, we haven't gotten an hour.
I'm just done. I'm just getting nervous.
But it can be it. I mean, I think there's a lot more material to pull from. Like, go listen to the playlist. We've got some videos that we'll be posting over the next month. Spend time with all of the artists. There's a lot of material to dig through with this show.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, you two.
Thank you.
Three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, you three.